The Big Dipper. On May 30th, 1972 in London, schools had just broken up for half-term and Battersea Fun Fair was packed. The Big Dipper was a wooden roller coaster that had been operating since 1951, thrilled riders with its steep drops. A train of 3 cars, pulled by a steel cable, carried 31 passengers, mostly kids and teens. Around 2:30 p.m., passengers climbed aboard. At the front rode a brakeman whose job was to manage the brakes. That afternoon, the train began its ascent. Suddenly, the haulage cable broke with a snap. The train paused at the peak, then started rolling backwards. The brakeman frantically pulled the brake lever, but nothing happened. The brake system did not respond. The safety devices that should have stopped a rollback were missing or broken. As the train picked up speed, it smashed into a curve at the base at full speed. The wooden track couldn't handle the force. The first car leapt off the tracks, shattering a barrier, and plunged 15 feet. The other 2 cars followed. Passengers were thrown from their seats. 5 children died in the wreckage, and 13 more were seriously injured. Later, a 15-year-old girl, dazed but alive, stood on a nearby walkway. It collapsed beneath her, and she fell to her death. Investigators uncovered 66 safety violations, including a frayed cable, and most safety devices were missing or broken. Investigators also found that employees had been drinking and using drugs while working. The ride's manager and engineer were later acquitted of manslaughter charges. The Big Dipper was demolished, and Battersea closed by 1974. The Matterhorn bobsleds. On January 3, 1984, 48-year-old Dolly Young visited Disneyland in Anaheim with 5 friends. The Matterhorn bobsleds, a steel coaster, featured small sleds that weaving through an artificial mountain at 43 miles per hour. Young climbed into a bobsled alone, while her friends took another on the parallel track. The sleds began their ride through the mountain's tunnels. As the sled twisted through dark tunnels, Young somehow slipped from her seat and landed on the tracks below. Another bobsled, speeding from the opposite side, bore down on her. The family inside mistook her for a mannequin. The sled struck Young at full speed, decapitating her instantly. The father in the oncoming sled realized what had happened. He screamed for his daughters to look away as they passed her body. Operators halted the ride when Young's empty sled reached the station. She was declared dead on sight. Her safety restraint was found fastened on a neighboring seat. The Matterhorn reopened the next day. Jetline. On June 25, 2023, a sunny Sunday at Gröna Lund amusement park in Stockholm, Sweden, drew large crowds. Jetline was a steel roller coaster built in 1988, featuring sharp turns and drops, hitting speeds of 56 miles per hour. Its single-track design, with trains of interconnected cars secured by lap bars, thrilled riders with high-banked curves and sudden plunges. A group of 11 passengers, including 60-year-old Annika Olsen, a grandmother visiting with her family, boarded the front car. As the train sped through a high section, it launched into a high-speed section 80 feet above the ground. Midway through a sharp curve, a support roller in the undercarriage gave way due to metal fatigue. The front car partially derailed and tilted off the track. 3 riders, including Olsen, were ejected and fell 25 feet to the ground. Olsen died from her injuries at the hospital. The other 2 suffered serious fractures but survived. The derailed car hung precariously as the ride stopped. The park evacuated the area and closed Jetline indefinitely. An investigation revealed skipped inspections on aging parts. Gröna Lund faced fines, and the incident led to nationwide safety reviews for older coasters. The Batman. On a sunny June 28, 2008, 17-year-old Asia Leishon Ferguson arrived at Six Flags over Georgia with his church group and family. The Batman was a steel inverted roller coaster, sent riders soaring at 50 miles per hour, with passengers' legs swinging freely below the track. During his ride, Ferguson's hat flew off his head, tumbling into a fenced-off zone beneath the tracks. After the ride ended, determined to get it back, he ignored bold warning signs. Ferguson climbed over 2 6-foot fences to reach the area where his hat had fallen. As he searched for his hat in the restricted area, another train barreled above him. The train was traveling at 50 miles per hour. A rider's dangling foot slammed into Ferguson's head at full speed. The impact was instant. Ferguson was decapitated. The train continued to the station while Ferguson's body remained below. Six Flags temporarily shut down the ride for hours. It resumed operations the next day after inspections. The park added security around restricted areas and more warning signs. Ferguson's death became one of the most graphic roller coaster fatalities in recent years. The New Texas Giant. In July 2013, Six Flags Over Texas in Arlington welcomed a bustling summer crowd eager to ride its attractions, with the Texas Giant standing out as one of the park's most thrilling roller coasters. Originally built as a wooden coaster and later converted to steel-tracked hybrid in 2011, The Texas giant soared over 150 feet, reaching speeds of 70 miles per hour. Its sharp drops, banked turns, and intense G-forces made it a favorite for adrenaline seekers. That summer, 52-year-old Rosie Esparza visited Six Flags with her family. Esparza, who was plus-sized, boarded the train with her son. As the ride began, she expressed concern about her lap bar not clicking properly. Ride operators assured her it was secure. The train climbed the lift hill and plunged down the first drop. During a high-speed turn, Esparza's restraint failed to hold her. She was thrown from the coaster, falling approximately 75 feet onto a metal roof below. Esparza died instantly from multiple traumatic injuries. Her son was unharmed but traumatized. The park closed the ride immediately. Investigations found that the lap bar design didn't accommodate all body types adequately. Six Flags added seatbelts and modified restraints. Superman. On July 8, 2011, 29-year-old Iraq War veteran James Hackemer visited Six Flags Darien Lake in New York with his family. Superman was a hypercoaster with a 205-foot drop, reaching 73 miles per hour. Hackemer, a double amputee, boarded the ride with special permission, as his condition didn't meet standard safety requirements. The lap bar couldn't secure him properly due to his missing legs. As the train hit a high-speed drop, Hackemer was ejected and fell 150 feet to the ground. He died instantly from trauma. The park halted operations immediately. Investigations found that operators failed to enforce height and physical restrictions. The ride reopened after adding stricter screening protocols. Hackemer's death led to nationwide debates on accessibility versus safety. Willard's Whizzer. On March 29, 1980, a crisp spring day brought groups of teenagers to California's Great America in Santa Clara. Among them was 13-year-old Eric Stinson. Willard's Whizzer, a Steel family roller coaster opened in 1976, featured 2 spiraling lift hills and a twisting track, reaching 35 miles per hour. Its compact cars, secured by lap bars, carried multiple trains controlled by a computerized braking system to prevent collisions. That afternoon, Stinson boarded the rear car of a train, buzzing with excitement. As it climbed the second lift hill, a critical sensor in the brake system failed. The system didn't detect another train stopped ahead at a block break near the station. Stinson's train crested the hill and accelerated down the track unchecked. It slammed into the stationary train at full speed. The impact was brutal. The rear car of the front train crumpled, metal grinding against metal. Stinson, caught in the collision, suffered fatal head and neck injuries. 8 other riders were thrown forward, sustaining broken bones and concussions. Screams filled the air as debris scattered across the track. Staff rushed to evacuate the shaken passengers, some crying in shock. Paramedics couldn't save Stinson. He died at the hospital. The ride was evacuated amid chaos. Investigations blamed a faulty sensor and inadequate failsafes. The park closed Willard's Whizzer for months for upgrades. It reopened with enhanced brakes but was eventually dismantled in 1988. Mindbender. On June 14, 1986, West Edmonton Mall in Alberta, Canada, was buzzing with visitors. Its indoor amusement park housed Mindbender, a steel roller coaster with 3 loops. The ride's train, made of 4 cars with lap bars, hit 60 miles per hour on a twisting track. That evening, 22-year-old Rod Chico and 3 friends got into the last car, ready for a thrill. The train took off fast. It flew through the first 2 loops. As it hit the 3rd loop, bolts in the wheel broke. The back car shook hard. Its wheel came off. The car jumped the track. The lap bars popped open. All 4 riders fell 30 feet to the concrete floor. The train rolled back and smashed into a pillar. 3 friends died on impact. Chico survived, but his legs, ribs, shoulder, and back were crushed. He was bent in half. He fought for months to walk again. The park stopped the ride. Investigators found bad bolts and poor upkeep. The coaster passed a check the day before, but it wasn't enough. Mindbender closed for months. It got new safety devices, seatbelts, and fewer cars. It reopened with tighter rules. Canada's worst coaster crash led to stricter park safety checks. Railblazer. On July 7, 1984, 35-year-old Karen Brown visited Six Flags St. Louis in Eureka, Missouri. Railblazer was a stand-up roller coaster, one of the first of its kind, with riders secured by over-the-shoulder harnesses at 50 miles per hour. Brown boarded, and the train launched. Midway through, she fainted due to the intense forces. Her body slumped, allowing her to slip partially out of the restraint. During an inversion, she fell completely and plummeted 30 feet to the ground. Brown died instantly from head trauma. Riders behind her screamed as the train continued. The ride was stopped upon return. Investigations found the harness design vulnerable to unconscious riders. The park modified restraints and added health warnings. Railblazer was renamed Standing Scream Machine, but closed in 1988. Rolling Thunder. On August 16, 1981, 20-year-old park employee Tyler Smith was conducting a test run at Six Flags Great Adventure in Jackson, New Jersey. Rolling Thunder was a wooden racing coaster with parallel tracks. It reached 56 miles per hour with steep drops and sharp turns. As the train sped down a hill, Tyler stood up to check the ride. His lap bar wasn't locked tight. Tyler lost his grip and fell out. He dropped 42 feet onto the tracks below. The train hit him, causing deadly injuries. Other workers saw it happen and stopped the ride. Tyler was rushed to the hospital but didn't survive. The ride was closed for the day. An investigation said Tyler made a mistake by standing, but the park hadn't trained him well enough. Six Flags added new rules to keep workers seated during tests. The coaster reopened soon after. It was torn down in 2013. Treetop Twister. On June 20, 2001, Lightwater Valley in North Yorkshire, UK, was full of summer visitors. Treetop Twister, a spinning wild mouse coaster opened in 2001, had single cars that spun freely on a steel track, with sharp turns and small drops, reaching 30 miles per hour. Each car held 4 riders, secured by lap bars. That day, 20-year-old Gemma Savage, a student, boarded a car alone, excited for the ride. As her car zoomed through a twisty section, a wiring fault stopped the brakes from working. It didn't slow down. The car crashed hard into another car waiting at the station. The impact crushed Savage inside her seat. She suffered deadly injuries to her chest and stomach. She died at the scene. The other rider was badly hurt. The ride shut down fast. An investigation revealed electrical faults from poor maintenance. The park was fined heavily. Treetop Twister was closed permanently. The accident led to stricter electrical inspections for spinning coasters in the UK. Big Thunder Mountain Railroad. On September 5, 2003, 22-year-old Marcelo Torres visited Disneyland in Anaheim, California. Big Thunder Mountain Railroad was a mine train roller coaster that wound through rocky landscapes at speeds up to 35 miles per hour. The train consisted of multiple cars pulled by a locomotive-themed engine. That day, Torres boarded the ride in one of the front cars. As the train navigated a sharp turn near the end of the course, a wheel assembly detached due to improper maintenance. The locomotive derailed and smashed into a tunnel ceiling. The impact caused the first passenger car to crumple and separate. Torres was struck in the chest by debris and suffered massive internal injuries. He died shortly after at the hospital. 10 other passengers were injured. Witnesses described hearing a loud crash and seeing smoke. The ride was immediately shut down. An investigation revealed that safety checks had been skipped and parts were worn out. Disneyland closed Big Thunder Mountain for over a year for redesign and safety upgrades. Fire in the Hole. On July 9, 1980, 23-year-old employee James Frederick Pauley was working at Silver Dollar City in Branson, Missouri. Fire in the Hole, an indoor dark ride roller coaster, mixed slow turns and small drops at 25 miles per hour. Its steel track wound through dark tunnels with themed scenes of a burning town. During a routine switch, Pauley's empty train was routed to a maintenance bay with a low door. He failed to duck fast enough. His head struck the overhead beam at speed, causing fatal skull fractures. Other staff heard the impact and stopped operations. The park closed Fire in the Hole for a few days. Investigations cited poor signaling and employee error. The park raised the door and added warnings. Fire in the Hole continued operating with modifications. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit that subscribe button so you don't miss the next one. And drop your ideas for future videos in the comments below. Your suggestion might be the topic of the next upload.